I'm doing so much better after having Harvest Man Cafe today.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
so interesting having the wilted spinach with the roasted garlic with the basil pesto on top of the butternut squash. Very
Yes.
lovely.
Nestled snugly inside of the crevice of an acorn squash.
Yes,
Roasted at 350 degrees for 40 some odd minutes.
and this is in harmony with us being in the sacral, in light body.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't often taste test when I'm cooking, and I just had a little taste before. I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat after this. Eat. So I'm glad you all enjoyed it, and obviously shout out to the team here. We had Diane in the studio in the house assisting. She was sauteing that spinach, and then we had Aubrey on doing what he does, manning the hot plates, the stove. So we are here today. We are diving into one of the Call for the Truth divination cards, and our card pull today is Sacred.
I am delighted and excited to be able to talk about this today.
Yes.
Yes, I'm
So,
very delighted and excited. This is so relevant to all of us.
well, certainly. So the maxim, just as a little heads up, as you all trickle into the live stream, is you are the vessel of heaven and earth energy. And this is so in tandem with the information that has been shared with us through the Divine Feminine and stretching to kind of bring into the forefront our connect, see our sacredness within, and through the recognition of our Taurus field to see that everything outside of us is sacred. And they may be engaged with their sacredness at varying levels and degrees, but nonetheless sacred. And so this identifying it within self first, I think we can go a lot of different places with this, but I would also like to know about what does this mean for us in terms of the time that we're in? Like, how is this relevant to our now, what we're feeling on the planet, the call for evolution within our collective human experience? And so before we dive, because I can see the gears turning, see the gears turn. Before we dive into it, I'd like to go into a few announcements for our people. And again, welcome everyone as you roll in Lakesh and Veritas. So we are wrapping up the month. Actually, just a second. I'm going to step away from the camera. I'm going to adjust something. Don't leave. Look at that. We're back.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to conclude with our soul translation, energetic sensitivities, which I think is a pretty phenomenal class in a myriad of different ways. People understanding that sensitivities are not inherently negative, but they help you understand more of who you are and the vessel that you're in, the makeup of your blueprint, and how these sensitivities help you really navigate reality. You know, with discernment and just understanding how the field is informing you. One of the ones that I'll just use myself as a case study, we used altitude and realizing
Yeah.
that I have a sensitivity to altitude, which is not only being in geographically high elevations, which I grew up below sea level in Miami, equator guy. Now I'm in the mountains, forested, is a little different for me, and I'm sensitive to it. However, altitude is very dimensional.
Yes.
It's multifaceted. And so I have a sensitivity to altitude in terms of the vibrational elevation. And I can recognize that as well within others and within myself. And so it's so fascinating to see I'm going to call it the multidimensionality of these energetic sensitivities, but again, how it helps us understand more of who we are. You
Yes.
have any thoughts on this?
It's so important not to attribute negative or positive to deeper clarity. This is information. Sensitivity is information.
Yeah.
It's just information. And the more information you have, the better you're able to navigate your experience with yourself and others. So the energetic sensitivities is information. It's not an indictment. It's not necessarily medical diagnosis. It's a sensitivity that may be coming from past lives, from the lineage, or from your larger self. It may be coming in because your car is on the verge of needing some help, and so you have a sensitivity like, oh, I should take care of this so that there isn't something in the future, or I have a sensitivity to making sure that nothing does happen that I have to sell my car in the future, things like that. It's not necessarily negative or positive, it's information. And for those who are seeking information, deeper levels of information about themselves, it becomes revealed. And those who are working with clients, it reveals to them also deeper levels of unlocked things that are locked up that are not usually available, that we may see when we say, oh, you were born at sea level. Oh, you live at a higher altitude. Oh, you're in the business of high altitude thinking. Oh, all of these. You're in the business of elevation. Oh, you recognize elevation in people. Oh, people recognize elevation in you and come up and talk to you. It gives us this multi-dimensional bandwidth of just more information.
Well, certainly, it's fascinating to hear it. So, again, we have one more day diving
Yes.
into this next week. Tuesday will be our last day. And then also, with this month, we're wrapping up Akashic Record reading.
Yeah.
Really good time in there. People just shattering understandings or limited understandings of the Akasha. People tearing up in the records, like, ooh, I feel my loved ones, and I can feel the different beings who manage the records, and I'm already getting insights and information. And this, we barely had breakfast yet,
Yes.
So this is a really good thing because, again, here within the body of work that we do here at Of a Sun, the Akasha is a part of everything that we do, all modalities. We're not separate from it. But this class is a deep dive into accessing it and, again, getting clear information, whether you're looking ahead, where you're looking in the past, to understand how to move in our present moment.
Absolutely.
So very empowering, to say the least. And so wrapping up the month also, we have Diane in Lika Studio One. She had her meditation Wednesdays, so those midday new meditations, if you're ever wanting to get a little bump up in elevation, you can join in or check out the past live recording. They're always up there on the YouTube section. And Fridays, she has her Call for the Truth Divination group card pool. And I understand she has new faces cycling through. We have one of our newer students, Nichelle. She's going to be joining her this Friday for the card pool, so that'll be great as well. Rolling over into next month, she will be doing the Evolutionary Book Club on the first Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be joining her. We'll be covering the Emerald Tablets of Thoth and exploring it from the perspective of the activation of the light body, because it is heavily referenced. It's really documenting the path that Thoth took in his experience of returning back to the light. And so we'll be deep diving into that. And what does that have to do with Of a Sun? Everything to do with Of a Sun. Spoiler alert. And again, throughout the month, you can continue to catch Diane on Wednesdays and Fridays for the midday meditation, as well as the weekly card pools. And so next month, in terms of our major ongoing classes, we have the entry-level clearing class. Well, it actually is DNA activation. So we're bringing back DNA activation for anybody who wants to participate in this, who you've done it before, but you want to do the audit. Now's your time, because people are used to it happening every single month. And now that it's like every quarter, here's your opportunity. And so some of you I'll be contacting directly. But also for those who are looking to take the Quantum Light Property Clearing class in April, this is one of the prerequisites, reconnecting the severed etheric portion of the DNA. And this does allow for greater access to what one may call gifts, but it's really who you are. The innate aspects of being able to hear, to see, connection with the ancestral memory, all of that good stuff. And this goes hand in hand with the activation of our light bodies. This is a flipping the switches on the switchboard, but not only is the reconnection portion happening, but we're also teaching how to stabilize and adhere, how to replicate the strands, and that happens through the everyday lifestyle, stretching to live a multidimensional or higher dimensional experience beyond third dimensional suffering. So we're gonna have some really good times with that. And for anyone who has questions, or maybe you're like, I want to work with you all, but I don't know where to start. And yeah, it all sounds good, but where do I start? On the homepage of our website, visit ofthesun.com. You can book a discovery call. It's free. And we can find out what you're interested in, what you resonate with, and share with you some of our offerings, such as the classes, as well as clearing services. But there is more of a focus on classes, so we can make sure the power is in your hand. So you can clean and clear yourself, raise and elevate yourself. You can come to us if you need a clearing, but the goal is for you to be able to do this yourself. So, Lel, do you have any final thoughts about any of this before we jump into our topic today?
It's exciting. If I were not already doing it, I would want to do it.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
I would start with Lightbody and all of the material that's in the Lightbody Google Drive that you have access to is gold. It's truly 24 karat gold. So you are encouraged to join Lightbody. Lightbody is exciting, and the people who are in Lightbody are having phenomenal, visceral experiences, verifiable by people in other countries, people walking down the street, people are saying things, animals are doing things.
Yeah.
Lightbody is working, and it's always working. You can see it if you choose to. So I would say, yes, this is exciting. It's an exciting time to be alive and an exciting time to be part of humanity returning to the light.
Most certainly. There's so many thoughts I have on that, but I'm going to stick to the script. So, again, welcome everyone to Of the Sun live stream. And we see there's a number of you in the chat. I just want to give a quick shout out to you all, and we're going to jump into our topic today. Sending warm invocation veritas to Stephanie Singletary. I am Elijah Woods. Peace, prosperity, abundance of light to fill your vessels. We're talking about vessels today.
Yeah.
We the sacred vessel. Gratitude and appreciation, beautiful souls. A little heads up, Elijah, I did see your contact form, and thank you. You noted a little something that needed to be adjusted on the website. It's been done. We appreciate you. Also, Inlakesh Studio One's in the house, like Square. She's here in the chat. She's here physically. She's over there munching on some delicious Harvest Man meals. We got Russ here, Inlakesh and Veritas, sending peace, love, and light to all. Stacy OTS 17, Inlakesh and Veritas, sun emojis. Gina's in the house, Inlakesh and Veritas, to all of you enlightened beings, much abundance and love and light sent to Laota Tavares and the whole of the sun universe.
Yay.
I like Gina's always inclusive,
Yes.
inclusivity. And then CC Tree is in the house, Inlakesh and Veritas. And it's funny. See, Tree is in the house, Tree House. See what happened there? Lisbeth, Inlakesh Veritas, Lisbeth. And Gina says, the meditation was on point as always. I hadn't done my Ho'oponopono yet, so it was needed and appreciated.
Good.
Thanks for showing up with your knowledge and energy. That's a comment for Diane in her weekly meditations held at 12 noon on Wednesdays. So again, we are here. Our theme today is the card Sacred, and this is corresponding with the heart chakra, green. And the maxim reads, you are the vessel of heaven and earth energy. And the book continues on stating, this is your earth. Everywhere you place your foot is sacred space. Well, to take us to the beginning with this, what's one of the foundational things we need to know about this concept?
The idea of sacred is often misunderstood. Sacred means all things made through creation. So that would not include Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
No Takis, none of that
That
stuff.
would not include
Krispy Kreme,
over-processed food or plastic ice cream or plastic rice. It would not include any of those things. All the things that are made from creation that we can see, that we are aware of, and some that we are not aware of, the rocks, the trees, the clouds, the wind, the sun. All of this is sacred. And all of this threatens the opposite, which is the anti-life, opposite of the over or ultimately processed foods and or the imitation, the the masquerade, the thing that is not. It threatens all of that. So in our world, we see that people are afraid of what is sacred. And so the linguistic reversal of the word, of the letters from sacred to scared, show us that in the DNA, because language is more than language, we can see exactly what's happening. We look at the word sacred, then we look at the word scared. We say, oh, I can see what humanity is doing because it's in the DNA. And the linguistic reversal of the letters shows me they're afraid of the sacred. They are not being the sacred. It is a struggle in the third dimensional world with two strands of DNA to see yourself as aspects of fractals of creation. And in that struggle, there is this, what arises from the history of humanity, this fear that they need to destroy or kill it, whether it's Mother Earth or the feminine or the children or the animals or the chickens or avian flu or. So there's this thing, and the world says we have to limit our carbon footprint. What do you think that means? We are carbon-based beings. So what is sacred? We are sacred fractals of creation made of carbon. We are the diamond. And we want to limit that diamond footprint on the earth. However, only in our ignorance could such a thing take place. If we recognize, those of us who it applies to, that we were terraformed and acclimated to this planet, this sun, this earth, this landscape, because it is ours. And that what is ours we should protect. And we should not let someone take from us what is ours if we're not willing to give it to them. And that has been what has happened in the long history of humanity, but not only humanity. We represent other aspects of the cosmos and the galaxy as well, where the sacredness is being challenged by that which is not sacred. So it's like, look at this, instead of look at the beauty of the design. So it's like, I can make better boobs, but there is creation-made boobs that were perfect.
Yeah, and it gets problematic years later.
It's problematic, period, that such a thing would be an option. The idea of not knowing that whatever you are was made of sacred intelligence for purposes that you may or may not be aware of, or a result of intelligence that you may not be in touch with. So you may think something's a curse that really impacts your power through the lack of humanity's love of self and love of that which is sacred and willingness to explore that which is sacred instead of the artificial, instead of the substitute, instead of the masquerade, instead of the thing that's trying to mislead you.
So there's a couple of keywords that you're using. You've used artificial, you've used the term ultra process. And I want to take these concepts and spin them into the idea of seeing the self as sacred. In the book, it says, you walk this earth as sacred, right? You're connected to it, but to see the earth as sacred, to see all things that I see, okay, we got to see we're sacred. Clearly, there has been things that has happened to us that has taken us off not only the path, but kind of informed and conditioned our consciousness to not see the sacredness and to desire the artificiality. Now, I think most of the people on the line are not necessarily getting boob jobs. However, it is going on in our world. Would you speak more to other like forms of artificiality or aspects of engaging with something that's processed or it's not real or made in creation, I'll kind of hone in a little more. Where my mind is going is the thoughts and the perception of self, the thoughts we think, the emotions that we think, and what does that register as? You know, I want to go a little deeper. I'm going to take it just into the idea of light, you know, and how positive thoughts register as light thoughts, and then light itself is, you know, it's in support of creation. But the polar opposite of that is, you know, like fear, that feels artificial. It doesn't feel like it's something that's real. And it uses our personal power, it uses the sacredness within us and rise that energy to be created. Is this landing for you what I'm sharing, or
I'm
let
just
me
not
get
sure where we're at. Yes, it lands, but
Oh, I done took
where
us to one of them side paths, and he's like, "Where we at,
so
T? Where's the map?"
yeah. So
The
what's the
question
thought?
is like, would you uh, go a little deeper into other ways in which we have adopted like artificiality, you know, and how that has been kind of creating this gap between seeing the sacredness within us?
It's so all pervasive. I agree that the example I use may not be what everyone does, but it's certainly what everyone knows about.
It's in the general lexicon. It's
It's
like we
it's
live in a plastic world. People putting plastic in them. It's plastic in the air. I get it.
So the idea that we are breathing in plastic, and each of us has about a credit card size bit of plastic in our brains currently, right now, today, that we are breathing in heavy metals. None of this is sacred or made from creation. These are all man-made things that are, some of them are being disguised, some of them are being pretended that they don't exist. Like there's no chemtrails, but we can see the chemtrails,
Yeah, and then the funky weather that precedes afterwards.
yeah, all of these things. So all of this and all the things that you know about, all the things you know about your exploding watermelons, all the things you know about the tumors on the chickens, all the things that I could go on forever about speaking about the convenience of being herded into areas where we have no backup plan, and the only plan when something is unavailable is to starve or take someone else's. And that's the only plan. There's no garden, there's no seeds, there's no know how, there's no understanding, there's no knowing how a thing works, there's no being in communion with all of life so that all of life can exist. That doesn't exist in the lexicon of a two-strand, third-dimensional human in general. And we just went through it. We just saw it on the news and in social media, what happened when people thought they weren't going to have food. So all of these things are true. The same thing applies with how we look and how we value ourselves, the false narratives that we walk around with. I have several clients who say to me, I gave up my 30s and my 40s. And these are men and women. And I'm like, what do you mean you gave them up? You know you were going to go from 30 to 40 anyway, right? So like that was going to be inevitable, that you were going to go from 30 to 31 to 32 until now you're 50. You're like, I gave up all of these things.
I can't even respond to that or reply to that. It's
This
ridiculous.
is not understanding the sacredness of the experience of life, not having paid attention in those decades to what is it that you are putting into your experience of life. This is a false narrative where now you feel like you have to get bits and pieces.
See, so that's kind of where I wanted to take it. What are you putting into your life? To take it back a little bit, even though the card is focused on the heart, being in the sacral chakra, we have been prompted to engage with the sacredness of life itself, right? We know creation energy is there. We know that this is like the throne, so to say. Well, it literally is. It feels like it. Matter of fact, let me sit up straight in my throne. But a point of like, what are we putting? Okay, the body being a vessel or being sacred, like a temple. You know, like when we go into a sacred space, how do we behave? Most people are like, oh, let me be quiet, let me be mindful, you know, and peaceful, and like having that same disposition, or I would even say greater respect for the actual body. Would you talk a bit about that?
It's so interesting because the way you present it is like, well, you go into a sacred space, and that's something we are familiar with. You walk into a church or a holy spot, and you feel the energy of the ley lines, and you feel the energy that's there. What is missing is that when you greet someone in the morning and you recognize, I see the God in you. It's the same God that's in me.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, where it's something usually sacred is identified as something external, like a deity or a holy space, so to say, with ley lines. But like, are we not that?
We are absolutely that. But it is our refusal to acknowledge it, to give it to another person. This is where the honor comes in. When we like, I see you good, but it's nothing compared to me. When there's no honor, there's no respect, there's no.
And why can't I be sacred and you be sacred?
Yeah,
Why can't we
where
both just
what
be?
where the and we hear this from the ancient Namaste. In Lakesh is similar. The idea that I see the God in you, and I see that's the same God that's in me. We are one. Now we can go and take care of whatever needs to be, because we are joined in harmony as one, as the sacred, that which has been created from source. Most people have a different relationship. They're like, I have my own private relationship with the sacred. Me and the sacred, we talk on Saturday night before Sunday morning, and that's me, and then I will bestow upon you what the sacred said. But the reality is that this plant next to me, I don't know if you can see it, is equally as sacred. All life is life. Every ant, every roach, every spider, and I know a lot of you all can't get with that, is sacred. It's from creation. Maybe not the mosquitoes, but the mosquitoes are our predators.
They could be considered ultra processed.
Yes.
Shout out to Billy Boy Gates.
However, until we understand that all life is life, we're not there yet. If we're still stomping on things and burning up insects and doing whatever, horrible things people do to aspects of life, to see we're punching the cow, things like that, we are not able to see our own sacredness because we have just devalued the life, light, and consciousness. Everything is conscious. Everything is conscious. Everything has light. That's how we know it came from creation. It's created. So what you can do to the Ritz crackers and what you can do to a rabbit are two different things. So it's a different experience. But even in that, the greater understanding of sacredness is I'm sitting on the grass on a living planet as a representation of my body as a living planet, that things sit upon me and live upon me and interact with me in the same way that they interact with the planet and the greater cosmic system, that we are all parts of a replication of life.
So I want to actually take it there, the greater cosmic system. Would you expound a little more on what this means in terms of the heaven, the earth energies, what that got to do with the human being? Which I think I kind of get it, but take us a little deeper.
There's a lot of ways to look at it, but we are not separate in the same way that there's no line between wherever you are in Russia. There's only agreements.
It's like the artificial lines.
Yeah, the artificial.
Imaginary.
Yes. There is no line between us and the space, the cosmos, or the universe, or the other planets. These are all artificial boundaries because we don't understand that we are one. All of this is, we are limited by our limitation and how we think about it. We are not limited. I'm not limited to only speak to people who are alive. I can speak to people who are dead. I can speak to people who are not yet born. I'm only limited by my own limitation. And everyone is in that same pot. All of us are only limited by what we believe we can or cannot do, based on our understanding of who we are not. And so the greater cosmic experience that is upon us on this earth at this time is lots of talk about foreigners and aliens and off-world beings, because it's upon us now. We're at the point of growth where where the principalities that we're in agreement with. When we agree that there is a place where the angels are, we agree there's a place where there's hell, we agree there's a place where God is, but we don't agree that the other beings live anywhere. It's just crazy. But there are no aliens, and all of them are living in principalities that we are in agreement with, but we don't agree with these principalities.
I'm gonna not speak on that. that would take us off base.
So this is a limitation in our own thinking that we have to kick that door open.
I agree.
We have to realize that, we think that 1 and 1 is 6. Even when we know it's not.
We don't even know how to count. We don't know how to count. We don't know how to put the square peg in the square hole. That's where humanity, in terms of our scope of awareness of what is.
We have, for many millennia, been tricked and fooled by not only us, but the other beings who exist in creation, by those who came and saw opportunities and then took opportunities that diminished us in our innocence. However, we're waking up, we got light, we're going to show the bright light of the spotlight, then we'll be able to see what happened, and then it can never happen again. This is part of the educational process of coming through the earth doorway. And no, you don't have to stay here. Nobody stays here forever. Nobody gets out of this alive. You move on. There is no death, so there is no afterlife. There is only life, and as they say in the church, afterlife. There's only life, and more life. So this is true. It's just a matter of how is it that we're understanding it, and what limitation is that giving to us, and what expansion does that give to us. So the entire galaxy, all of the cosmos, the many universes, and the many suns are all aware of us and what we are going through on Earth and the breakthroughs that we are about to make. And it is a glory for all of the universe. Each time one being, humanoid or not, frees itself from the limitation of not understanding its sacredness when it was designed by Source, is a glory for all of us.
So how does the heart tie into this? That's really the main theme with the card, although our guidance with the Divine Feminine kind of encouraged us to bring the awareness of sacred while we're within the sacral. But the card, it's clearly saying to focus on this heart. And, I think there's the obvious aspect of heaven and earth meeting in the heart space, but like in a practical sense, what does that mean? And how does that contribute to us stepping more into our sacredness?
This is something we could talk about all day, but just like on Valentine's Day, it's about love of self. It's really about...
Is it? Or is it about those chocolates in that
those
that
flowers?
bag? Yeah.
It's really about the heart is the generator and the master controller. And it's really about, you can't control it on erroneous information. You've got information saying you ain't nothing, your mama wasn't nothing, your boyfriend is nothing, your children are not going to be anything. That is a destroyer, destroys humans, destroys minds. It's a mind destroyer.
That's a very interesting perspective. It's like seeing the heart as technology, which we know this is technology, awesome tech, but to take it there, we're like, look, what you're pouring into what you programming into the tech, it ain't gonna get you where you think you want to go.
Yes, and what you put in is what you get out. So being able to push yourself beyond any messages that are programmed into your DNA, or that you're hearing in your space, or that the reflection of people that you look out of your eyes and you see coming back to you things that don't respect, honor, or give you gratitude, release that. And choose the next higher step. Like, oh, you don't like me? I like me. Oh, you don't think I'm cute? I think I'm adorable. For real, I think I'm adorable.
I'm with you. Yeah,
Like,
indeed you are. But you don't. However, you don't require my validation for
I
that.
don't. I already
You're
have
like, I got it.
in my back pocket, I
Pull
have
it
my
out,
own.
Lalta. Pull it out. Pull it out.
Validated,
Wow.
adorable. I'm putting it back in my pocket just in case I need it later.
That's right. You have to get you a little holster or something.
Yeah, I probably need two
Right.
holsters.
Okay. I want to stay in this pocket though of what you were saying, how the self identifies, and this might be somewhat of a little spoiler for those who are in Light Body upcoming, but our guidance has encouraged us to. Well, we've talked about this often. Our guidance has encouraged us to take the disposition that you shared, where it doesn't matter what the outer reflection looks like. How do you feel inside? What are you generating? And then hold that long enough to reinform the field. And where there's this level of freedom and sovereignty through this, would you expound a bit on that?
I have a well-used quote that I often say over the years of see and then wait, not wait and see. Like, see what you want and then be like, oh, I wonder when it's going to come. Oh, maybe it'll be here tomorrow. It's more like that, not let me stare out the window hoping something will come along. I had a client once who lived in Des Moines, and she lived down the road from the gate where the mailbox was, probably a mile or two. And her window, she could look out, and she would sit there every day for 10 years waiting to see what would come down the road.
First off, when you said Des Moines, it sounds desolate. Like nothing's out there. It's just one house and just empty road.
That's what I saw when I was talking to her. And I introduced her to the idea of see what you want to happen and see if it doesn't come down that road. So this is the response to what you're asking is, you are the creative generator of the love of your excitement and intelligence and beauty and source from creator. Manufacture that into a vision and pay no attention to whatever else shows up. Like, could you move over to the left? I got a vision here.
Yeah.
You kind of in my way.
Swipe left on them.
But hold it relentlessly, because anti-life and what is not in your favor is relentless.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because I find that people often get themselves into a high frequency, but can you hold the pitch is the name of the game. And I think that this is a component that people who are striving to embody the light do not fully understand, that darkness, anti-life is non-stop. Some examples are like the person in your life who is annoying you. Doesn't it seem like they never stop? It's just like on and on and on. Or the negative incessant thoughts within yourself, like I'm trying to shut this off. Or covens and dark forces out there, they be about it all day. We made this joke about they got people clocking in, clocking out, with dark magic. And so there's this reality of there's a principle of the necessity of the repetition and intensity in order to change the field. Would you speak a little deeper about that?
It's funny. What it makes me think of is an apple tree and the gravitational pull of gravity on Earth. There's no keeping those apples on that tree. They will relentlessly grow and then fall down. And there's no like stopping them midair, like no more apples fall. And then no more apples all over the world will never fall. Gravitational pull, which is a reality in physical reality, will bring them to the ground in the same way that if you allow it, those who are around you will bring in enough gravitational pull to take you off your course,
Yeah. You know.
which is a relentless, if you think of gravity, like gravity don't let up.
Yeah, it's just
Gravity doesn't
ongoing
stop because
force,
you know, it's
unbiased.
Sunday.
Yeah, right. Like, hey, I gotta go to brunch, y'all. You better tether yourselves in. Yeah,
So think of it more like that the gravitational pull that pulls you to the lowest common denominator is always in effect.
yeah. So
However, your clear vision to the opposite can be in effect if you understood that you are the generator of the power that can make such a thing happen. But it's been very convoluted with what people teach about manifestation and other
yeah,
things.
but this makes a lot of sense in terms of the intensity and the level of power that a person works with, and it also takes personalism out of it. You know, when we're experiencing like cyclical negative behavior from an outside source, and it just is like let's say someone who chronically complains and suffers all day. It's all they do, like a family member, a friend, and heck, fill in the blank. But deciding to go to, you often talk about meet match and go above it, and then hold it, you know. And it's not so much that it's stronger; it's more so like you just gotta go above it and be just as persistent. And you know, when I think about this, it makes me think about how passive, especially those of us who are pursuing the light, we've been conditioned to be kind of limp and passive, where I know that there's more power, but like how do we overcome that we have allowed to happen to us?
I'm doing something new that I hadn't done before that I find very exciting and effective, and I would like to share it in the face of the lack of light, which is sadness, depression, complaint. I don't like it. I don't want to eat it. I don't feel good. All of that. Let me dump what I'm thinking about somebody thinking about me. All of that is lack of light. In the face of that, I have decided to be excited and delighted. I'm excited and delighted about whatever's going to happen next, and I encourage you, if you can get some of it from me, fine. And keep some and keep it going. If not, I'm going to keep my delighted and excited on, because delighted and excited is life itself rushing through me. You ever see a blade of grass break through some cement? It's delighted and excited to make it through to the sun. You ever see a plant wiggle itself up into the right position and look at the sun? That's where I'm going. That's what I'm trying. That's what I recommend. And then see with the sluggish ones who are, you know, I can't, it's too sunny out here. You know, I'm too hot. It don't feel good. I need to complain to the other flowers.
You all not hot? Y'all unbothered?
You know, are you still okay over there? Because I'm delighted and excited. Bees are coming for me any minute now. Yeah, so that's my remedy.
Yeah, I think it's very practical. I also see it's a muscle that requires being worked, where it's akin to each person who's taken this in to pull out your own validation stamp, which that's what it feels like to choose the state of being that you're in. It's self-validation. It's like, no, I don't need an event. I don't need something or someone outside of me to bring me into an elevated state. I
Yeah.
can do it all on my own.
Yeah,
And
it's
just,
like if you said to me, Harvest Man Cafe is closed today, I'm like, I'm still happy.
that's right.
You say to me, Harvest Man Cafe will open tomorrow, I'm like, I'm still happy. If you say to me, we're going to do something different, I'm like, I'm still happy.
I got a
You
question.
don't, the reflection does not control my decision about my happiness. I control that, and I'm willing to stand on that and not let the lower frequency overwhelm me.
So I got to, taking it literally where I'd like us to go. The lower frequency overwhelming us. This thought process of choosing to determine who and what you will be in the face of what we see on social media, in the news, it feels like mental, emotional abuse at the rate at which things are thrown at us to alter our perception, to influence our state of being, our mood. In the face of that, I feel as though like something like this is more pertinent than ever. Where, and I was just talking to Diane about it. They were how they it's one and the same, but forecasters talking about like ice storms and this, that, and the third. But the way in which people speak about it is so fear-based, and they're trying to penetrate and project it onto you. And then, for someone who's not as strong, they could end up, or not self-validated, they could end up acquiescing to that. And so what I'm saying is that I feel that more than ever, this taking responsibility, sovereignty, dominion over your state of being, your temple, is one of the solutions to like offsetting the outside conditioning. Would you speak a little bit about that a little
It
further?
is absolutely the way you say it. It is that humanity, through all of the generations, we have the DNA of our parents and our grandparents and what they thought and what they put on us, what they thought of us as people. Like my father thinking, well, you can't even pass typing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you.
Didn't you fail intentionally?
I did twice.
Because you was like, I'm not gonna be that.
Yeah. However, I didn't accept it, but so many children do accept.
Yeah.
I was like, you can keep that. But not everybody's like I am.
Heretical, rebellious. Make me. Like, it's hard to make somebody type correct. But please continue.
So, but it's the same thing, whether it's our father, our mother, someone famous, someone successful, whether it's our own self-accusing spirit that we collapse under the weight because we find it's too hard to replicate somebody else's idea because we haven't replicated our own idea. Or we find that we don't have enough power, enough energy to find the thing that we can do. I was talking to a company in Arizona with all their employees on a conflict resolution, and I was sharing with them that it was Martin Luther King who said, if you're sweeping the floor, do it like you're Michelangelo. That's where the glory is. The glory is find the thing you can do. Do that the best you can, and then the next door will open. You don't have to be the surgeon. You don't have to be whatever you think is the highly educated. You could be great at whatever it is you do, and that will give you the value that will let you see your sacredness, that lets the heart technology open, where you love yourself enough that then you can move forward to whatever that looks like. And it may not be traditional. It may be completely untraditional. But it doesn't really matter. That if we buy into the lie that represents us as you're not what people in 2026 consider successful, like, that's probably true. Okay. What else you got? I still feel good. Yeah, like, I'm still happy.
Get that out of here, man.
What else you got?
Yeah.
But I've been living that experience for a long time. Like, whatever you may have that, I will not be eating any of that. Thank you very much.
I think that in general is interesting because it's this forced projection, like, because this is the thing that the person wants or what they think is successful, and because they don't see it in this person, that automatically means they're not.
Yes.
And it's like, you don't know what's going on over here.
But there's also the other side of it. The person doesn't really have the energy or the willingness to do the thing that they don't want to do anyway, but they can't just say, I don't want to do that anyway. I want to cut grass at the park. That's what I want to do. I want to spend my days in the park cutting grass, and I know you want me to be the president of the company, but I don't care like that. And so there's no room for that in our world because it's all about money and all about projection, all about wearing masks, and all about trying to be whatever we have seen on social media.
Artificial, ultra process.
Yes.
Even from a visual standpoint. This is interesting. How about we go to a quick commercial break? Okay. And if you all are with this, I don't know, type something cool. Type something like truth or show you right. Well, to say that. I'm sure Shaka mentioned something like that already. All right, so we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. Everybody, stick with us. This is our sponsor, Aluka Gold, over in Dubai. Alex, we appreciate you. And for anyone who's interested in assets protection, wealth management, and investment of your funds, your finances, you can reach out to them. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Stick with us for about 40 seconds. And hold on a second. Yeah, call them back. It's like all the phones are ringing. It's the bat signal. All right, everyone, just a few seconds.
Every financial crisis has one winner. It's not crypto, it's not stocks, it's not real estate, it's gold. In every financial crisis, there's one asset that always comes out on top. Not because it skyrockets overnight, but because it never dies. Stocks crash, currencies collapse, property markets freeze, but gold, it keeps buying the same value as it did 100 years ago. Look at history. 1929, 1971, 2008. The people holding gold weren't panicking, they were shopping. They had liquidity when everyone else was broke. The winner in a crisis isn't the one with the most cash. It's the one holding what cash runs to when it's scared. When the next crisis hits, you'll either watch your savings melt or you'll be the one buying gold at a discount.
All right, once again, visit alukainc.com. Website is posted here on the screen. Wealth asset management protection and investment.
That sacred made by source material.
That gold, huh? Yeah,
That's not aluminum foil.
yeah. Not fiat, paper.
And that's not plastic wrap.
Yeah. Oh, I saw someone post up a video of how there's plastic and sugar, bags of sugar now. I know that's not something that we eat, but it's, she was melting it down and she's like, what are these hard chunks? And it was plastic.
We need to decide soon.
I feel like the choice, the window for choosing
We need to decide soon.
was quite
'cause
some time ago.
Your body, your technology, and plastic don't work together.
No. So we're going to go to the comments here. And once again, everybody, we appreciate you for joining us for our live stream today and indulging in this conversation about being sacred. So going to some of our comments here, we have Stacy OTS, the illusion that the gift is a curse. That spoke loudly to me, especially as you were speaking about how sensitivities are often the gift. That makes me think about, I'm empathic. I often use that. It's the gift and the curse. Like, get it together. Try to use that as your extrasensory discernment tool or something instead of just being oversaturated and overwhelmed.
It's your gift. Get it under control.
Yeah.
Sit down with yourself and your gift.
So I can get in the mirror. Okay, so get it together.
It's like, stop it.
Right. A Central Tribe here, she says, the concept of Vinlakesh is torn. Instead, we see other. Yeah, I think it's like the separation, this, it's like this wall. It was making me think about when you were speaking about oneness and the invisible lines, and I saw how, it's like, there is a container of some sort, but like at the same time you exist beyond the container, and so does the other containers. Like I was just thinking about the body, and then it looks like I stop here, but then I got a biofield that emanates and radiates beyond, and my consciousness goes everywhere, but it's like we don't see, it's the limitation.
Well, I mean,
it's really
it's really a matter of growth and expansion, how much you can see. I have 7 layers of energy bodies around my body. Those who want to see it on this podcast can see it. Those who don't know it exists won't see it.
Again, the limitation.
It's the limitation, but there's so much glory in the room for growth. That what we don't see today, we may see tomorrow. There's no sadness or wrong or right. It's just that everything is one thing. We are all fractals of one thing. We are all gram in the hologram of all things.
Yeah, not just like this
Yeah.
other separate, distinct,
But
like
to be able to
in totality.
speak it to another being, oh dear, I see that you are made by source as I am made by source. We are one in Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respecting. I'm glad you exist on the earth with me today. You should be able to feel that.
Yeah, it's funny that you even use those words. I was gonna say, how can a person feel into that? Because sometimes it seems as though it's theoretical or intellectual versus
In the
like
beginning,
like heart-mind connection. You know, the congruency, coherency between both concepts. What I think and understand, I also can feel it.
whatever you have the bias in is the best thing to work with. If you have a bias against mice or bias against rats or a bias against squirrels, work with that.
Yeah, like calling them other.
Yeah, when you have a
Like,
bias, wherever
yeah.
your bias is, break through that and then you're there.
That makes
Don't
a lot
do
of
the
sense.
thing that you think is so beautiful and so wonderful, the flamingo that you know you're part of.
Yeah, that's easy work. Give yourself a challenge to expand. It's not even work. It's like, it's a given.
I can see how beautiful you are and I am. I can see how God made us both. I can
Right,
see
like,
it,
ooh.
yeah. Work with the thing you have the bias against. That person who's been getting on your nerves your whole life, work with that.
Yeah, right. Like, ooh, and that's the thing.
Work with that.
I'm gonna tell you some stuff after this podcast. You too, Diane. I got you. All right. So, thank you, Essential Tribe. We also got Elijah Woods. So very grateful for the amount of confirmations and light received through you all. Honor, respect, and gratitude to you, Elijah. Stacy OTS says, the sacredness of the experience of life. This is a quote from Lauta. Leon Eddie is in the house. I'm Lakesh and Veritas. Delilah's in the house as well. So a few more people popped in. Welcome. Shaka Warrior says, yes, Lauta. The feeling of being separate individuals is seen as an illusion created by ego or limited perception. True reality is unified, even if we appear distinct.
We are actually each a little snowflake, each one a little different. I mean, it's true. We are individualized fractals, but that does not mean we are not one.
I had this thought as you were saying the snowflake thing, and how one of the remedies is increasing your value of self. You value you, you start being able to value others. It's like there was this phrase that stuck with me, and I grew into it through more embodiment of Lakesh. I know you because I know me. And it's like I value you because I value me, and I can see it's the truth is in the oneness, you know, or the growth is in the oneness in seeing self. Gina says, "Pull it out, Lauta." I'm using that for sure. She said, "Persistence wears down resistance." Ooh, I like that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you know, it hits when it rhymes. Shaka says, Lauta is on a roll. Oneness doesn't erase individuality, but rather understands it as unique expressions
Yes,
of the
yes,
same universal
yes,
spirit,
yes.
like different waves
That's
in the
right.
same ocean.
Oh yeah, we in the same ocean.
Yeah.
Yes. Same ocean. Water planet, water beings, same ocean. For real, for real.
Yes, yes.
The ocean above us in the clouds, the ocean below our feet, the ocean around us, the ocean
atmosphere.
inside of us. I could go on.
Hey. Stop you. I'm like, keep it going. You know they love it. You know, we were in a social isolation class, and we know that you all on the live stream and in the class love when Lauta turns up, and she was turning up, and I was looking at the cameras, and people are like, "Oh, there's your seats." Like, yeah, Lauta. And she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna stop now." I was like, "Nope, don't stop, Lauta." Look at their faces. I can't see your faces, but I can feel you all. Feel you all who are alive, and the future ones.
This is the excited and delighted aspect that will burn away the darkness of the people who are trying to bring you to gravitational pull. Be delighted and excited. Remember how this feels. When you feel me, join in, jump in the pool. Delighted, excited. Burn away all that does not feel good. through your delight.
Be delight. That's been on my mind the last few days. Like, ooh, delight. Delight. Ooh. I'm so serious. Is the whole it's in the words. All right. I see you all feel me, but you're like, all right, T. All right, so we're having a good time here, and we're gonna start wrapping up. Thank you all for joining us. Before we go, just a couple of reminders. If you're looking to activate the light with us, join the light body movement. We are activating our light, the energy centers in the most practical way. Just a little heads up of what's entailed is we join every first, second, third, and fourth Sunday for an hour and a half, sometimes a couple of minutes more if you got some questions, where there's active engagement. We have class documents, we have class meditations or activations specifically for each chakra. There's other activations like activating your Taurus field, working with all that is. And then, of course, being within the field of the group energy, moving as one. And something that has been so wonderful to hear is people feeling how palpable the group energy is when they are exploring how the light of the energy center is reflected in their reality. And they can feel the momentum of the growth through this engagement. Right. So we're really working on this embodiment thing here to be delight. So $45 a month subscription, and you get access to all of the past recordings. We are in the second round, like publicly, of the light body. So we're in the sacral now, but what will be available to you is an entire year's worth, pretty much 8 months of all the other energy centers from the first round, and the class content and the activations, which we continue to build on. You have any thoughts on this?
Yes, join us because we've built a textbook and we're continuing to add to it. It is digital, it's available to you, it's part of your fee if you join us. And the result is visceral and experience through yourself and others. And we thank you so much for joining us today and hope that we will see you again next week. We give you the greetings of Inlakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude. Thank you.
Be delight.